All right, hi all. How are you starting a little bit early today? But no worries, I'm not gonna do anything serious. I'm not doing lecturing. What I'm gonna do is to find out the delay, okay, from Polly to you guys. Oh yeah, by the way, hi Mark and Kevin. So what Polly is gonna do is she's gonna pronounce the number, and that's gonna rotate from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, like that. And I'm also gonna type the number on the chat, okay. When you start hearing me saying 1, could you just type in something up, okay, saying for example here. Now you hear it. So by seeing the differences on the chat versus the time you guys say here, I can sense how long the delay is, the one-way delay from me to you. Okay. This is so that later on when we're doing the quiz 26, okay, especially stage 1, things will be under control. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jingyang, you heard me. Yeah, so I have not yet started counting, all right? Okay, so you guys know what I'm gonna do. So, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see. Very good, guys. Very good, guys. I think the delay is about 5 seconds. Okay. All right, really cute seeing you guys counting. Okay, some of you count a little bit faster than the others. I guess that the delay to you guys are a little bit different as well. So I can see, yeah, I counted to 6 and you guys started popping saying something. Yeah. Very good. I think, yeah, about 5 or 6 or something like that. And you see me typing the numbers and hearing the sound, and the difference is about 5 or 6. I see. Yeah. Great. And you know what? Hi. Did I miss? I think I missed saying hi to Davis, Chloe, Brian, and Vincent. And I think that's all. All right, great. Good. So, hey, we are set for quiz 26. Okay. Go. Oh, okay. Sure. Good afternoon, David. David and Jiansheng. Good. So this week is relatively light. We only have 3 quizzes you need to work on substantially. Quiz 26 is a quiz that's giving away. Whether you participate or not, because it's important for you to experience, okay? And I said that this week is lighter because also there's no PA assignment this week. Nice, isn't it? But you know what, guys? Okay, use your time well. Exam 2 is coming next week, okay? But usually to prepare the exam, okay, just review and hey, some of you guys try to be a little bit critical and analyze a little bit more instead of just being comfortable with what's obvious. Okay, then you would do well in the exam. Okay, and by the way, just like all the exams, Poly does not judge students by how many points you earn. Okay, but hey, keeping time is important. Okay, making sure that you're honest through the process is important. And that is the best thing to do because you will know that you will be able to respect yourself, okay? And that will take you a long way. All right? Good. So what are the topics today? CC. Okay, so what is CC? CC stands for congestion control. Last week we spent quite a bit of time talking about congestion. And much like what you guys have talked about in your quiz 25 solution, right? What causes congestion? Too many cars on the highway, therefore the highway is congested. There's an accident in the middle of the road, therefore there's a congestion. There's a protest ongoing. Okay, there are human beings there blocking the road. Yeah, so there are some roadblocks somehow. Okay, much like the highways, the streets we have, internet. Okay, sending data also have congestion. It could be because we are sending data too much within too short amount of time, right? Then we get congestion. It could be because a router might be broken. There's probably not enough buffer space. There's probably a lot of cross traffic, okay, consuming all the buffer space. So congestion. But today or this week, okay, much of our focus. Oh, hi, Pro, Loretta, and Kelly. You're not too late. You're not too late. Okay, but it's coming up real soon. All right. Okay, England. Where was I? This week we'll be focusing on controlling the congestion. Okay, so CC, congestion control. There are usually two approaches. Okay. If you observe other students' solution to quiz 25, you will see these two types of solution already. Okay, some of you say, hey, hell, I actually don't need to tell my friends who are also driving Uber taxi. They can just look up, open the Google map. They see which route is congested and how long it takes to the airport. I don't need to say anything. Okay, so the sender of these cars, drivers, before they depart, they can learn somehow from the information available. The other approach, of course, some of you really nice, right? Text these friends or calling a radio station and having the radio stations broadcasting about how bad, how serious the condition is, right? So these, in fact, are the two major approaches. This video is to announce the two major approaches and to tell you a little bit more about the first approach called end-to-end approach. It's a little bit like having the drivers themselves looking up information, guessing how bad the condition is before they start. With the scenarios elaborated, you see, particularly in scenario 3, the only solution or the only effective solution to a congestion is to what? Just slow down. And therefore, the two key design elements in a congestion control mechanisms are these. First, detecting when a congestion is occurring. Second, notifying the traffic sources that's causing the congestion to slow down. And there are two major approaches allowing us to achieve those. First is called the end-to-end based approach. The other, the network-assisted approach. Now, from the name of it, you probably guessed. Yeah, end-to-end meant the end systems are doing much of the work, detecting congestion, informing the traffic source to slow down. Network-assisted, on the other hand, is asking the routers to do all these work instead. Let's first focus on the end-to-end approach. So in this approach, the end systems will need to infer if there's a congestion occurring inside the network. If you recall back in TCP, okay, what we're doing is sending multiple packets in one flight to the receiver. Receiver sending ACK back. And all these packets and ACKs carry the sequence numbers. So receiver can actually detect a gap, okay, in the packets being received, and therefore sends duplicate ACKs instead of new ACKs. So receiving duplicate ACKs is a way of detecting if there's a loss, or the sender side can simply time out and then retransmit. That's also a signal of detecting there's potentially a congestion inside the network. So that is, observing from the loss occurring, inferring there's a congestion. One can also observe if there's delay changes. Okay, so for example, when we send packet out, let's track the sending time. Okay, let's track also the time when the ACK for that packet comes back. Calculate the difference, you get the round trip time. And if you observe for a long enough time, you might see, oh, the round trip time is increasing. When it goes beyond a certain threshold, then you could say that, also, network is running into a slight congestion there. Okay, so overall, general mechanisms, observe packet losses. If there is an increasing trend, observe the delay. If there is an increasing trend, then you're going into this hotter zone where congestion is likely occurring. Now, taking this approach, we do not get explicit feedback from the internet, from the routers inside the internet. And taking the end-to-end approach, we'll have to also guess or infer the right sending rate. Okay, so this is for the source to know exactly what is the right rate to send the data so that we do not overwhelm the network in the meantime, not being too conservative, too slow sending the data out. Okay. And this is actually rather hard to do for the end systems. After all, they're actually at the very edge of the network. The congestion could be happening anywhere inside the network along the path. So what the end-to-end approach is doing is this, okay, guessing. By trying a certain rate and observe if there's a loss, okay, if there's a growing delay. If not, then cool. This is actually within the available bandwidth. So maybe let's raise the rate a little bit and see, right, if there's a loss now, if the delay increases now. If not, then hey, we're still safe. Let's, increase it so that we're not too conservative, too slow sending the data out. Now, but if we exceed a certain point, and as a result, we begin to see loss, and we begin to see the delay increasing drastically. Yeah, that is actually not good. That indicates that we are probably exceeding the available bandwidth threshold, and therefore we are sending data too much, too fast into the network. So if we are failing, if we are detecting the signals of congestions, then that's slowdown. Okay, so end system here to infer, to find out what is the right sending rate is by trying. Okay, pushing. If we over push it, let's come down again and then try to push it again. Well, if not good enough, slow down again. Right? So this is in fact the approach also taken by TCP. This is actually very natural because TCP being a transport layer protocol, it's actually implemented receiving side, sending side both at the end systems. Therefore, it implements an end-to-end based congestion control mechanism. All right, so that was the first kind, the end-to-end. So essentially, how fast, how much you send within how much time is the sending rate. Okay, so in the congestion control, one thing that's very important is to find out exactly what is the proper sending rate. Okay, if you go beyond the proper sending rate, congestion occurs. If it's below, hey, you have some capacity and you are not fully utilizing it, not so good. Right? So it's a guessing game, in fact. Okay, and how you guess is that, well, if I don't see congestion, you raise it. If I see congestion, you drop it. So there's a certain feedback coming from the system, coming from the internet, okay, somehow allowing the sender to decide raising the rate or lowering the rate. In fact, quiz 26 is trying to give you a similar experience so that you see how come internet engineers design their way of raising the sending rate, lowering the sending rate that way. Okay, but before we go to quiz 26, let me just briefly introduce the second mechanism, the network assisted approach. And in fact, in this course, there'll be one example of a network assisted approach solution, but that's at the very end of chapter 3. Okay, now the network assisted approach. Okay, so in this approach, routers will be doing the congestion detection. But how? Well, we also need to observe something, but this time we could actually observe something that's very directly related to congestion. That's the queue size. Okay, so this is the queue of these packets gathering at the entry point of the router. Okay, so congestion is this: sources of the traffic sending data too much, too fast into the network. Inside the network, we have these routers, right, handling packet forwarding. If the outgoing rate is slow and incoming rate is high, then these packets will need to be buffered temporarily, okay, at the entry point of these routers. And therefore, they get a chance to wait for their turn to go out on the outgoing link. If the outgoing rate is slow, incoming rate is high, queue gets long, and free buffer space gets small. Right? So queue size or free buffer space, okay, changes of these are good indications of a congestion occurring. Now, routers, however, are the devices in the middle. Okay, how do the routers inform the sources so that the sources know that they need to serve down? This is the way it's done. Okay, so there are these bits, special bits, okay, inside the packets. So when these packets travel through a router and the router is so busy, queue size is so big, or free buffer space is so small, these bits get turned on. Okay? And when the packets arriving at the receiver, receivers can check these flags or check these bits and then inform the source of the data, the sources of the packets. Now, in internet, okay, the TCP/IP protocol suite, let me explain. Yeah, TCP is actually a transport layer service. Okay, but sometimes we also call the transport layer the TCP layer. IP is actually a network layer protocol, and therefore sometimes we actually refer to the network layer as the IP layer. So TCP/IP here is actually referring to the internet protocol stack because the transport layer is running TCP. The network layer is running IP. So these two are the very typical classical protocols that are running, okay, supporting the operation of the internet. So in TCP/IP or in internet, we have these special bits, and we call them the explicit congestion notification bits. So when the router inside the internet, the queue size gets large enough or the free buffer space gets small enough, we set the ECN bits on. And therefore the receiving end, the TCP receiver there, seeing the ECN bits on can inform the source to send them. Now that is how the routers in network assisted approach detect congestion and notifying the source of the congestion. What's nice about this approach is this. The routers there observe exactly how much free space there is, okay? And dividing by the number of flows that's going through, number of connections that's going through. Hey, routers can also be more explicit, telling the receiver to inform the source. Now, set the sending rate to this size. Set your sending window size to a particular size, such that we will not be overwhelming the router buffer space. Just like the flow control mechanism, right? Receiver there observing the receiving buffer, depending on how much is free, set the sending window size accordingly, and voila, problem solved. Receiving buffer will never be overwhelmed. Similarly, the router's receiving buffer here will never be overwhelmed. All right, so that's the other approach. Okay, the network assisted approach usually can tell better what is exactly the available bandwidth. Okay, all right, so welcome to The Price is Right. Okay, this is Polly's favorite moment of teaching this course every semester. This is Polly's favorite game show. Okay, Price is Right. So the contestants will participate and guess the prices of some merchandises. Okay, so usually it happens in two stages. Stage one is that a number of you invited, a number of contestants invited, and you guys we will rotate and guess the price of an item, but you want to get it as close to the actual price as possible, but not exceeding the actual price. Okay, so we'll be working on stage one, and winner of stage one will enter stage two. Okay, in stage two, you'll be given a limited amount of time. Okay, you'll try to guess the actual price of an item, another item, and Polly will be providing the hint. Your guess is too high, or your guess is too low, so you need to adjust your guess according to Polly's feedback. Okay, all right, now let's try to start. For stage one, okay, you guys, 12 of you are invited, so we have 12 contestants, okay, and each of you is a group. So if you have 3 members in the group or 2 members in the group, make sure that you guys talk it through. Only one of you represent the group and type up your guess, all right? And each group will be given 1 minute of time to do the guessing, okay? And so in order to make sure that, that you type up your answer timely, okay, before it's too late, Polly will be using like 1 minute here on her phone, okay? So essentially, you guys want to discuss and make sure that you have us answer by something like 30-40 seconds, okay? And type your solution, something about 50 seconds or 55 seconds before the phone rings, okay? Because there's about 5-6 second delay, okay? If you see the delay being longer, then you want to type the answer a little bit earlier, all right? Good, so one of you type answer. Second, you have, are we typing in the score? Yes, you are, okay? We'll be moving momentarily to, you know what? Let me just move there, okay? To the score. And by the way, also, the winner of stage one, you'll be calling in through Google Meet. Because, hey, in order to do this too high, too low thing, and within a short amount of time, we need to be able to speak to each other in real time. Okay, so be prepared that you might need to call in over Google Meet. What else? Oh, by the way, for stage 1, once you type up your guess, you cannot edit it anymore. Okay, so before you hit enter, make sure that you have it for sure. Okay, you can delay it to something like 50 seconds or 56, and Polly is going to show what is the current time here. Okay, but again, there's about 3 to 5, 6 seconds delay between us. All right, good. So, are you ready? All right, contestants, please come forward to the Discord W11 Quiz 24 channel. The first item is right here. Okay, it's oopsie. Yeah, it is bath towels. It's a 4-pack, white color. Okay, perfect color, and it's organic and cotton. Okay, so it's organic cotton. Okay, so so think of it. It's more expensive than the usual towels. Okay, and this is bath towel, somewhat large. Okay. Think about going to the hotels, staying in hotel. There are usually the hand towels and the bigger one, okay, bath towels, all right? And you know what? That Polly start counting time, okay? Start. You have 1 minute, okay, to come up with your guess. Make sure you type the team number as well as you type the price, all right? Oh, guys, sorry, guys. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, please type up the price in Taiwanese dollar. Okay, so you kind of need to convert to the according to the exchange rate. All right. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, 1 minute and start counting. Okay, we have team 9 saying 400. What do we have else? Okay, I see. Ooh, many of you typing. Hey guys, already 40 seconds. Oh, okay, it's counting back. So yeah, you still have time. All right. Idris says, "Oh, okay, 1,450. Yeah, high quality bath towel can be somewhat expensive." Team A, 1,099. Hey, make sure that it's not exceeding the actual price. I know it can be a bit hard. Oh, we have 2 teams guessing the same price. Ooh, so we need to tie break maybe. Okay, time's up. Hey, there are 2 team 4 answer. Which one should I take? Okay. I guess you guys are probably in a hurry, so both of you typed. Okay. You know what? Team 4? There you go. Great. All right. I receive answers from, I think, all of the teams. Cool. Great. You know what, guys? It's a lucky guess most of the time. So let me announce the actual price, okay? And Polly has converted to NT dollar, so ta-da! It's yeah, after conversion and with a little bit of randomness, okay? Yeah, 1,308. Let's see which one is the closest and not exceeding the actual price. Guys, you guys should take into consideration the inflation. Okay. Oh, I see team 10 being very close. Oh, very gutsy guess. Respect, definitely. Oh, it turned out that. Okay. Oh, nice. Team 10. Yeah, it seems that if I click this again, it's yeah, it's actually removing that. Yeah, I think the scores emoji is a little bit odd. Okay, it's not actually accumulating people's echo. Okay, 1250. So yeah, guys, change another emoji. Otherwise, you are actually not giving a feedback, and yet you remove other people's feedback emojis. Oh, okay. Wait. Look at this. Team 11. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. If you hit the same emoji again, it's actually disabling it instead of counting it. Yeah. Change another emoji so you leave a mark. You know what? Team 11 is the winner. All right. Congratulations. Team 11, you guys already win 5 points extra, okay, for participation, okay? And you are also invited to the second stage. So second stage is this, okay? You got 30 seconds, and one of you, okay, will call into Google Meet and interact with Polly, okay, real quick. So Team 11, you guys will need to fight and find out who's gonna call Polly, okay? And you have like 30 seconds to decide who's doing that. Okay, Ethan, are you the one doing it? Okay, if you are, call me. Okay, so let's go back to Discord as well. All right, so let's wait for contestant number 11 to call in. Hey, I see too. How do you do this? How do you add to it? Interesting. Okay, so let's give Team 11 a little bit of time. You don't need to show your face. You can disable camera and just talk, okay, in case you are not properly dressed. Yeah, I guess Team 30 is, Team 11 is still fighting who's gonna do the second stage. They did not expect to be so lucky, I guess. We decided to choose Pei Yun Yan, and let me see. Yeah, so hey, I think that's Peter, right? Yeah. Pei Yun. Peter, you need to call into the Google Meet session. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Or Kevin wants to do it. Kevin was typing on Discord. Yeah, okay. It's in the announcement. And right here. There he is. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, he's in. He is in. All right. Hey, Peter. 30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And hi, contestant Peter. How are you feeling right now?
I'm quite curious about what's happening now.
You need to guess the price of the next item. Okay,
Huh?
and the price of this item is one of the hottest items these days. It's it's a graphics card, the RTX 4090.
Ah,
Okay, so this item should be familiar to you guys being an EE student. Okay,
yeah.
good. This is the NVIDIA, okay, super hard graphics card. You need to guess the price of this item, okay? And as you guess the price, Polly would share or provide the feedback telling you your guess is too high or too low. Do you see?
Okay.
Yeah. And if you hear too high, of course, right? You want to lower your guess.
So started now?
Not yet, not yet. Okay, so
Oh, sorry.
hey, every time the contestant gets super nervous, okay, and confused about or forget about the guess, the previous guess. Okay, so calm down. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, so you have about 3 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Type it down in Discord or
No,
just
just
tell
say
you.
it. Just say it.
1,600 USD.
No, you need to say it in NT dollars. So sorry.
In NT dollar,
Yeah.
about 50K.
Okay, no. Let's do it again.
Okay.
And you know what, guys? Let's make it a bit more interesting. How about making it 1 minute and 30 seconds? Okay, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
It's a lot more doable. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
50,000.
50,000 too low.
Too low. 55,000.
Too low.
Too low. 60.
Too low.
80.
Too high.
70.
Too high.
65.
Too high.
63.
Too high.
61.
Too low.
62.
Too low.
Oh, I have to get a exact.
Yes.
62 and 500.
Too high.
62.3.
Too high.
0.2.
Too high.
62.1.
Too high.
62 and $50.
Too high.
52. Wait. 52 and $23.
Too high.
$10.
Too low. Oh.
It's so hard.
It is hard. But you know what? We know it's 62.10 to 62.25. Would you like to guess and final guess? Do a final guess.
Final guess 10 to 25. 17.
Oh, just missed it. Oh, too bad. But you know what? It was a consolation prize, given that it's so close. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a consolation prize. You guys win 10 points. Okay. Every one of you in Team 11 receive 10 points, extra participation points. All right. Thank you, Peter, for competing. All right. And the actual price is 62 and 13. Just $4 away. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Feel free to hang up. Good. So that was quiz 26. Okay. So let's move back to, you know what? To the next topic. Okay. In fact, TCP's congestion control mechanism is very similar to what Peter was doing, right? Try something higher, if not, drop back down. And you see that Peter was doing something like, 700, 60 too low, 80 too high, then 70, the middle of it, right? And 70 too high, 60 too low, 65. Something is interesting going on there, right? That seems to speed up the guessing. TCP employs this mechanism called AIMD. Okay, it's very similar to what Peter was doing, but not quite, not quite. Check out how TCP did it. And we'll take a look at an example of an end-to-end based approach, TCP's congestion control mechanism. And TCP does it this way. The sender will increase the sending rate gradually if there are no packet losses detected. But as soon as there's a packet loss, we drop the sending rate drastically. So point number one here, packet loss is used as an indication of network congestion in TCP. Point number two, TCP is actually implementing a trying failing process to discover what is the proper sending rate. Now, by sending rate here, I'm adjusting. In TCP, it's implemented this way by changing the sending window size. You see that the sending window size is a limiting number of bytes we can send out within one round trip time. Therefore, increasing the sending window size is increasing the sending rate. All right, the exact process of doing the trying and failing is called the additive increase, multiplicative decrease, or AIMD to be short. So, AI describes the increasing process of the sending rate. So this is done by setting the window size and such that it increases one packet per round trip time. And the decreasing part is this cutting the window size to half of it, okay, after detecting a packet loss. So you see the increasing part is slow and linear. The decreasing part is drastic, multiplicative. So additive increase, multiplicative decrease. Okay. Linear increase, multiplicative decrease. So if I show the sending window here over time, we'll see when there are no losses, the window size is going to grow linearly. As soon as we hit the loss, we drop the window size drastically to half of it. So additive increase, multiplicative decrease. So each of these AIMD episodes looks like a sawtooth. And that is why people often say TCP's window size change over time shows a sawtooth behavior. One thing I want to add is this. We said we increase the window size by one packet per round trip time, but TCP sequence size is counting data by bytes. Window size is therefore also counting the maximum amount of data we could send out by bytes. So what do we mean by increasing the window size by one packet? That doesn't make sense. How do we implement that? Yeah, so the fact in the implementation, what's being done is to increase the window size by one maximum segment size. Okay, so MSS here, if it's configured to be 1460 bytes, then the window size is incremented by 1460 if there's no loss detected within a round. And this is actually related to the second point I want to stress. Yeah, you see here, the full name of the sending window is no longer WND. Right? It's actually called the congestion window size, CWND. Because the sending window size is dynamic in TCP, and it's actually controlled by the congestion control mechanism. That's why the window is now referred to as the congestion window. And this is TCP's process of trying to probe and discover the available bandwidth. Now let's bring up the diagram we used to explain TCP. Now it's counting bytes. Now each of these is what? A byte. If we'll be generating a new packet, then we'll be using the byte stream number here as the sequence number of the new packet. Right? So what you're seeing here is I'm updating the diagram such that this term here is no longer WND, the sending window size. We are now calling it the congestion window size, okay, because this here, okay, CWND is dynamic. It can be large or small. It's no longer a fixed size. And how large it is depends on how the network is smooth. How small it is depends on how bad the network is congested. And the quantity CWND here limits the number of bytes there can be between the last byte sent to the last byte act. Last byte act. So green here are counting the bytes that have been sent and have been act. So the last byte act is the last screen. Yellow here are the packets sent or the bytes sent but not yet act. So last byte sent is here, the last yellow. Okay. So last yellow, okay, subtracting the number of the last screen. That means the number of yellows. Okay, so CWND here limits the number of yellow bytes there can be at best. Last, so we say TCP's congestion control is done by controlling the sending rate or changing the sending rate to discover what is the right one. Okay. We already mentioned earlier that is actually implemented by changing the window size, changing the congestion window size, because the sending rate is essentially the congestion window size divided by RTT, because within a round trip time, we can only send these many bytes, All right, so it's additively increasing, but when the rate gets too high, aggressively, multiplicatively dropping. Okay, so adding slowly and dropping drastically. So you can feel that in TCP, the engineers were thinking that, let's try to be conservative. Okay, even if we could increase, let's increase in a slow way. Unlike Peter, right, jumping from 60 to 80K. Multiplicative decrease. So you see that it's actually not quite doing a binary search like Peter was doing. It can be dropping down. 1 second. To something lower than what previously allowed. Okay. I swallow my own saliva. So, so AIMD, quite conservative. Okay. TCP, however, has a stage that is at the starting of a connection. Then try to do things a lot more aggressively. Instead of additive increase, very conservative, it's multiplicatively increase. Okay, until it hits the first peak, okay, too high. Then come back to do AIMD. So the slow start here, although it sounds like starting slowly, but it's actually fast. Okay. Something that's a little bit unusual in TCP's process of discovering the proper sending rate is this. There's an initialization phase, and the mechanism is called the slow start. Okay. What it does there is, when TCP is just starting, a connection is just starting, the initial window size is set to 1 MSS. And the increasing pace is no longer AIMD, it's actually what? Doubling the window size per round trip time. AIMD is what? Increasing the window size by 1 MSS per round trip time. Wow, so that's actually quite aggressive, isn't it? You are correct, because the window size in slow start, in the initialization phase, is going to increase exponentially. Because every round trip time, you double the size. Every round trip time, you double the size. As opposed to in AIMD, every round trip time, you increase by 1 segment size. Every round trip time, you increase 1 segment size. Right, so the initial rate, very, very small, 1. So slow start is actually referring to, the initial window size being, the lowest possible. But the increasing rate is actually exponentially fast. Okay, so this is actually the part of design in TCP's congestion control that can confuse you a little bit. It's slow start, but it's actually increasing really, really fast, right? So the intuition says this is fast start, in fact. Yes, you are correct, but the slow here actually meant the window size, the initial value, is a very low value. Okay. The last point I want to make is this. Okay. Doubling window size per round trip time in the implementation is actually done this way. Okay. Window size is incremented by 1 after receiving an act. Okay, so look at the illustration I have on the right. A is the sender, B is the receiver. A originally in slow start having a CWND of 1 MSS. That data packet will go, receiver here will send an ACK back. Host A here being the sender, receiving an ACK will do what? CWND plus plus, and the increment is 1 MSS. As a result, it was originally 1, now 2. Therefore, sender here can send 2 segments in MSS. So these will go and generate 2x coming back. Sender here receiving 2x will be calling this line twice, therefore 2 will become 4. Similarly, 4x comes back here, and this will be called 4 times, therefore the window size becomes 8. And the next round, 16. You see an exponential increase here, right, by a factor of 2, isn't it? So overall, TCP's process of discovering the proper sending rate is more like this. This is a TCP connection, and this is the beginning of it, and this is the end of it. So there's this initialization phase where we run the slow start mechanism, okay, and the behavior of the window size is AIMD. And then in the steady phase, we run this congestion avoidance mechanism. The behavior of the window size is AIMD.
Yeah, so you figured it out. Polly was saying AIMD while she writes EIMD. Okay, so slow start, exponential increase. Okay. Congestion avoidance, additive increase, linear increase. All right. Now, in TCP, there are actually 2 ways of judging whether there's a loss. If you recall, the finite state machine of RDTs, TCP's RDT. Okay, so here, TCP actually handled 2 kinds of losses differently.
And you heard probably Polly saying, yeah, TCP increases the window size when there are no losses and decrease when there's a loss. But if you think a little bit carefully, in TCP, the sender detects a packet loss 2 ways. One is, yeah, there's a timer set when the packet is sent. When the timer expires, the sender there discovers the packet is lost and then retransmit. But in TCP, there's something also called fast retransmission. We are retransmitting packet faster right after receiving triple duplicate X. So there are 2 ways in TCP sender to detect a packet loss. In fact, in TCP's congestion control, we are also adjusting the window size differently depending on which type of loss is being detected. First is, a loss being detected by sensing the timer timeout. We then set the window size all the way down to 1 segment, okay, and then grow exponentially just like in slow start state. After a certain threshold, then grow linearly just like in the congestion avoidance state. On the other hand, when the loss is detected by seeing 3 duplicate acts, then the congestion window is actually cut to only half the current window size, not all the way down to 1. And then grows simply linearly. So this is very much like what? AIMD. Yeah, you're actually right. When the loss is detected this way, the TCP sender is actually dropping the sending rate to half and then continue on with the AIMD, therefore, into the CA state, the congestion avoidance state. So the TCP connection here is still in the steady state. But if the loss is detected this way, it appears that the TCP thinks this is actually a more serious scenario, therefore the window size needs to go all the way down and then being reinitialized, okay, until the window size grow to a certain degree. Then we do the AIMD, like in the steady state. Okay. Now, based on your intuition, which loss of these 2, okay, you think is more serious? Yeah, I know, it's quite obvious, right? Because in this case here below, at least you get to receive 3 duplicate acts. That indicates the network is still capable of sending 3 packets through. Therefore, you get 3 acts back. But this scenario here, it's top. You don't get any data through, you don't get any data back, or you get only 2 duplicate acts back. So, more serious. Therefore, okay, Windows drop down even more aggressively. all the way down to 1, and that's restart, reinitialize again. Now, the only thing that you thought, interesting is this. So we have not yet defined what is this threshold yet, because it seems that this threshold is there to determine how a TCP connection there start from the initial state, entering the steady state. So that is also the point to decide. When do we change the mechanism from slow start to congestion avoidance? First point to add to the slide is this. The threshold in TCP's implementation is called SS thresh. You guess, S and S here actually meant S and S here in slow start. Second point, the whole mechanism differentiating how we adjust the window size depending on the type of loss being detected is implemented in TCP Reno. Yeah, I know. TCP designers is a bit weird. They like to call different versions of TCP with names instead of using a number. So Reno there is essentially the version 4, TCP version 4. There's another version of TCP, TCP Tahoe. So this is actually the first generation. So what's being designed there is this. The loss, no matter whether it's detected by timeout or 3-2K acts, the window size is adjusted the same way, always down to 1. That means Tahoe there is very, very conservative. Whenever there is a loss detected, the sender always go down to the lowest rate possible. And that might be a bit too slow based on experience, therefore, in the second generation. The designers begin to say, hey, maybe in this easier case, okay, at least we see 3 data go and then 3 duplicate acts back. It's not so bad. Let's only cut the window size to half and then remain in the congestion avoidance phase.
All right, so that's all the time we have today. So starting tomorrow morning, we'll talk about the finite state machine of TCP, now with the congestion control mechanism in place. Okay, so that's all. And once again, congratulations to Team 11 for the 10 extra points. And with that said, I say goodbye. Yeah, sorry about the glitches. Bye. Yeah, I can feel that 5-6 seconds delay.
turning it off.